How's it going, everyone? Welcome to my video. Today we'll be talking about the Elite 8 of chess. In case you don't know, the FIDE World Cup is a single elimination tournament. Basically, if you win your match, you would move on. If you lose, you go home. And we are down to the final 8 players of the event. Last week, or last video, I should say, I went over the Sweet 16, and now we are at 8 players. 8 players remain standing. So just kind of recap what happened. Jakovir Sindarov, whom I was kind of, hailing as a favorite, won against Frederick Svane in regulation, in classical, I should say. Jospem shockingly won. Or maybe it's not that shocking, but I think a lot of us are surprised that he's made it this far. Noterbeck won, Donchenko won. We'll go over that crazy match. Sam Shanklin won. I was also shocked to see that. Esipenko won. And I did predict Esipenko to be one of the 3 finalists. I should have also mentioned that the top three finishers in the World Cup make it to the candidates, which ultimately qualifies for the World Championship. So this is a big deal. It's not just some random knockout. Wei Yi won predictably, and Arjun Ergiaisi won as well. That was actually a very oh yeah, I'll have to go over that one too. But anyway, we have chess that I want to go over. So as far as these matches go, I mean, we can start wherever. Actually, I should make sure. Where's the Aronian match? I want to go over that as well. Oh, there it is. No. Um. Oh, there it is. Arjun Ergaisi advanced with a nice, brilliant move. Levon Aronian is holding pretty well here. Well, I mean, holding pretty well. He's worse, but if he can just play a move like Rook F1 or Bishop D3, just kind of wrap around, he'll be fine. He plays a move Rook E1, which blunders due to Knight H3. And Knight H3 just wins the game on the spot because you're attacking the queen, which is defending the rook. If you just move the queen, then I can take on G1. After queen takes, go rook takes E1. And there's this sort of battery going on. And obviously, if the knight is taken, then rook takes e1 and queen takes f3 is checkmate. So this was a brilliant move. If you saw the clips from like Chess Base India or whatever, Levon was a very good sport about it, and I think a lot of us were rooting for Levon to kind of make a run, but it wasn't meant to be. And Arjun has advanced to play Wei Yi in the quarterfinals. Let's see. Sam Shanklin won a crazy match. Domchenko won a crazy match. I actually want to go over and Noterbeck won as well. Noterbeck, Esipenko won. I want to go over the Donchenko match. Now, Donchenko is not necessarily a household name. I think he's like 2660. He's like the 5th highest rated player in Germany, which is kind of crazy. But what I do want to go over is he had an insane match against Liam Lee. So, in case you don't know, basically how it works is if the classical games are tied, which as you can see, they had 2 draws. If the classical games are tied, then they go to rapid tie breaks. And then I think it goes like 25-minute, then 10-minute, then 5-minute. So basically, if the 25-minute games are drawn, then, or, it's 1-1, they go 10-minute, right? This is it's 15-minute. I would have thought 25. So what's the second time control? Is that, that is 10 minutes. Okay, so it goes 15, 10, then 5. Okay, it makes sense. So basically, the time control progressively goes down. Obviously, if you win any of the mini matches, you advance, but oftentimes there are going to be ties. And oftentimes it's going to be like 2 draws or whatever, as you see in the classical. But here, as you can see, Donchenko struck first, and then Liam Lee struck back. Not once, but twice. Let's see how this game went. This was, do I remember going over this game? I don't exactly know. It looks like just a normal game. Oh, Bishop D4 was a blunder. I think because of Rook B2 and Bishop B4. And yeah, Black just has too much counterplay with this pass pawn, was my understanding. So, Donchenko wins the first game. It seems like he's in control. He has White the next game. So you would think nothing goes wrong, right? You would think nothing goes wrong. Now, what I want to mention, I think this is the opening, right? The opening here is very interesting. So Donchenko plays c4, knight c3, d4, c5, and then after d5, Liam Lei, keep in mind, he's playing for a win, plays the very enterprising move, bishop takes c3. Now, if you're like under 800, you're probably thinking, what's so like weird about it? Why the emphasis? Well, this bishop is normally just going to be very strong and influential on the long diagonal. Very rarely do you want to trade it for just a knight. Like, very rarely do you want to do that. So kids don't try this at home. Don't just trade the bishop for the knight unless it wins you something tactically. But the idea is that Liam Lei is trying to just kind of like mess up his structure and play for counterplay. As you can see with queen h4 check and bishop d3. I think bishop d3 is a mistake because now it allows some pressure here. I mean, computer's saying just take the pawn on e5. Well, oh, interesting. It's saying f takes, queen takes, knight f3, just give up the pawn. Okay, I can get behind that. The queen's exposed, you castle, develop some pieces. I can get behind that. But after bishop d3, pawn takes, it gets a little bit crazy after g5 and h4. Sorry, g5 and h5, excuse me. And then f6. I mean, again, it's hard not to just kind of like watch with the computer, you know, just in the peripheral vision. Here, e5 is a brilliant move because if the because bishop g6 is an idea, and if the knight is taken, they can take on d6. There's pressure here, and if queen takes b7, and the rook just hangs on a8, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So after e5, pawn takes bishop g6 check. Probably not the best move. Apparently rook gf1 is a little better for whatever reason, but check, and then bishop takes g5 is a brilliant because if pawn takes, knight takes, and you have pressure here, and also the d pawn can advance if needed. Bishop takes f3. I guess at a certain point, white messed up. For bishop h7, knight d7, check. So this is just craziness all over the board. e4 is a brilliant move for some reason. Just craziness all over the board. It's not just that I'm reading the computer lines. Like, this position is absolutely insane. Especially a few moves ago after e4. Like, what's going on here? You have the king exposed. You have two bishops on the other 7th rank. The two rooks, I mean, like, no one knows what's going on here. I don't even think the players know what's going on. And eventually, Liam Lei just won. I mean, gotta give him the credit. He played a very enterprising... I believe Gotham Chess calls it the Beef Eater opening after bishop takes c3. Just very enterprising. Just trading the bishop. I'm gonna win, and he sure does. So then we move on to game 3, or I guess yeah, game 3 in the rapid portion. Now this was very fascinating. I'm just making sure it all looks good. Yeah, this was very fascinating because it's a boring end game, and honestly, I considered like not going over this because like I don't have like a, you know, hour video to kind of explain the technicalities and everything like that. But let me I was able to understand my little 1700, you know, 1800 brain was able to understand basically. Wait, when was this? No, sorry, this was a little earlier. I was able to finally understand, I think it was here, when the official blunder happened. Basically what's going on. Now, I guess white can draw by either chucking the pawn or just keeping the bishop kind of at bay along this diagonal. I think it's important because after bishop h4, Donchenko finds the move bishop f6, which obviously, the thing to keep in mind, if the bishops are traded, it's game over. If white were to just go here, after king takes, you have a passed pawn that's too far. I mean, if you take the pawn, then obviously the king is nowhere near the square. And if you try to go after this pawn, then you also have the b pawn. So this would be clearly winning. And you can't do anything with your d pawn because the king is within range. So after bishop f6, I mean, of course, Liam Lei is not going to trade bishops. He just goes bishop e1. Then Donchenko plays bishop e7 and bishop f8. So the idea is that, well, putting the bishop on e7, I believe, is important because you have to go to f8. I think if the bishop went to g7, you could go back to h4, I believe. So you go bishop e7, then bishop f8. And the idea is black is going to walk the king to the d7 square and then go bishop d6 and try to force a bishop trade that way. And if the bishop trade's declined, you have like g3 there. So let me just rewind a little bit. Let me rewind. So you go, if you're following along, bishop e7, bishop f8, king f6, king, I believe is like I think it was king f7, e8, d7, audio bishop d6, and make progress. I mean, Don't ask me to explain endgames. Also, I think it's important for the bishop to be on e7 to defend the b pawn. So that's kind of like duh, but that's basically the idea there. And eventually, eventually Donchenko got control of kind of both sides of the board with the bishop, and I mean it takes some technique, obviously, but Donchenko was able to win this game. But Liam Lei strikes back. He was here, is in this position where Donchenko, I mean, he literally has the World Cup in his grasp. If he just holds on, I don't know, play Rook F1, or I think he was saying this as well. He has the world in his hands, right? Rook H4 is a blunder because of Queen B1. I mean, King F2, don't even like get me started. I think simply Rook B2 would win though. Even though you allow the pawn to get taken, the king just sidesteps. But after King F2, also bishop F1, I believe there's knight F3 with the royal fork. But King H2, bam! Knight F3 anyway. Bishop takes, Rook B2, and then the queen is won. And there's really nothing that white can do from there. So, so you've had multiple of those matches where Donchenko was winning in the rapid game, but then loses in, well, he was winning the first game, then loses the second one. And then eventually, there was a draw in this game, and then Donchenko won the white game. Let's see when the critical moment was. Oh no, this was the game, right? I guess I did click on. Did I skip ahead? I guess I did skip ahead, actually. Sorry, the timeline is off. So the game I just showed you with the with knight f3 check. No, I didn't skip ahead. My bad. I just clicked on the wrong tab. This is the game that won Donchenko the Sweet 16 and advanced him to the Elite 8 with this beautiful queen sacrifice. Queen g7. The idea being you have rook takes, pawn takes, knight f6, and then you just win the queen back. Very, very fascinating stuff. Now, one thing I also think is very fascinating is I want to show you, it was Donchenko. The previous match, he had an insane miss. Was it against Bluebaum? No, it was against... Was it against Liam Lei? I don't know. No, you know what? No, it was in the classical. It was in the classical against Liam Lei. Um, was it this? I actually don't remember. No, I think it was the game he lost. Wait, no. Oh, it was this game. Liam Lei had a crazy one. I thought it was Donchenko. I guess it was Liam Lei. Liam Lei had a very crazy miss. Like if he had like here, this is a draw because of b5. B5, which should have 2 exclamation points, but I can't really add it because the events page is a little bit different. But here Liam Lei had to move b5. The idea being that after king takes, b6, and this rook cannot do anything. You can't get out. If check, the king just sidesteps, and you can't go this way. And obviously the king cannot stop the pawn. So I thought that was fascinating. I just wanted to show you that. But Donchenko is coming off a very crazy match against Liam Lei. He is down 1-0 in the classical, I believe, to Noterbeck. Not Abdusattorov. Yakovev, another scary Ukrainian player. Not Ukrainian, Uzbeki player, my bad. So, you know, will his insanity run end here? Most likely, but Donchenko, Alexander Donchenko, you've earned my respect. You had a really good run. Let's see, what else do I want to go over? Esipenko, I didn't really get... Oh, besides, there was a cool moment here. There's another queen sacrifice. After rook b6, bam! Queen e8. Very thematic because the bishop is covering the squares that the king would otherwise be able to escape to. Obviously, he's not gonna... Well, if he takes the rook, there's queen d8, and it's not necessarily mate, but, you know, rook takes its winning anyway. But after queen e8, Grebnev, I believe, I think it's his name, Grebnev just played queen d8, and then solidify his bishop with d5 and is easily winning. Okay, so Esipenko advances. Wei Yi versus Sam Sevian was over in the classical, or ended in the classical, I should say. It didn't go to tiebreaks like some of these other matches did. Sam Sevian, I mean, he's been in Goa, India for like almost a month at this point, probably. Played so many games. I mean, I could just click here. Let's see. This is Holy smokes, that's a lot of games. Well, he had a long tiebreak match against Ludici. That's a long match. I mean, actually, like, look, 22 games. This was his 22nd game. That's not normal. Even for a rapid tournament, that's a lot of games. Well, he had a lot of games and makes a blunder on move 10, bishop f5. The reason bishop f5 is a blunder because the bishop will be unprotected when the bishop takes the knight. Knight takes c6. The point is after pawn takes, bishop takes, and the bishop is loose. So Sam Sevian just blundered a pawn out of thin air. And then, I mean, okay, like, of course, Wei had to use technique and everything like that. Just trade into an endgame and ended up winning the game. You know, the rook was very aggressive on the 7th rank and didn't let up. At the end, it was bishop versus knight, and you just have several more pawns. Like, it's just one more pawn, which was able, I mean, he was able to theoretically capture a pawn, but so did Wei Yi. I mean, g3, just such a patient move, doesn't even take the pawn. Oh, there's knight f4, so I mean, of course he's not going to. He's going to play g3, and then, you know, he defends the pawn, but king f6, king f7. So I guess the idea, I think the winning idea is that you put the bishop here, and then eventually you try to trade the knight, the bishop for the knight, and then just win the pawns that way. So I can see how for a low-rate player the technique would be a little bit difficult, but eventually he gets the job done. Wei Yi, that is. So, unfortunate for Sam Sevian, he's the second to last American remaining besides his compatriot Sam Shanklin, of course. Well, I guess Aronian also got eliminated in the classical, so we only have one American remaining. We'll go over his match in a second. I do have Jospem chess is surprising everyone. I think pleasantly though. Jospem had a nice win against Hari Krishna. I don't think these draws were necessarily anything to write home about. Let me see if there's just anything critical. I mean, you know, some of these like blacks can be slightly better here, but not necessarily trying to break down how to, you know, convert slight advantages. Jocelyn's win against Hari Krishna wasn't exactly like it wasn't exactly fireworks. I think it was just one of those situations where Black is just pressing the whole time. It was a Sicilian. I mean, Black's pawn structure is like pretty solid. He has a C pawn kind of to work with. I think it was just a matter of like these pawns were kind of like damaged, and then he was able to kind of take control. That is Jospem. H5. Yeah, H5 is actually a really good move. I love H5 because you just get the H file to play with. And I mean, in these like tight rook games, you'll take what you can get, right? And the king gets involved. And now you basically just have like a 3-on-2 on this side of the board with the king influencing it. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. And eventually, I mean, I'm not necessarily going over the nuances, but mate is threatened. I can tell you that. All right. And then I guess the last game, this looks early for it to just be a draw, even though Hari Krishna had to win. I'm actually curious how this one went. Wow, so in a must-win game, Hari Krishna plays c6 and g6, and then knight a6. Wow. Okay. I mean, I get you're trying to win. I don't know what this is, though. Are you just trying to confuse your opponent? I mean, that's fine, I guess. I mean, queen a5. I'm not really taking too much stock into these like question marks and things like that. If you're playing to win, if you must win as black, it's kind of hard to play well. So there's an opportunity here. I think g4 would just want a piece. It's looking like, but you know, understandable. Jospem didn't see it, and queen c2. I think Jospem just agreed to draw in a winning position. Bam! Knight takes f7. The idea being that if king takes, we get queen e6, and then there's mate on the f7 square next. Queen f7 mate. So obviously the sacrifice is not going to get accepted, and yeah, okay. So yeah, Jocelyn was completely winning, but obviously didn't need to win. He only needed a draw. All right, anything else I want to go over? Was there anything interesting from the Yakubev game against the Sargisian? I mean, probably not. Knight c6 is a mistake. I think I vaguely remember looking at this in Gotham Chess's video. You know, good win, nice quality win in the classical. Oh yeah, Shanklin versus Dubov is the other one, and then there's the Sindarov won a nice like grind, like with the two bishops. He has two bishops versus bishop and knight. The fascinating thing about this position is that once the bishop's on f6, the king has no way to get out. Like you literally like you physically can't go out because of these two bishops. So I think White was kind of like playing with house money here, and then just advanced the king and got the king close to the a pawn so that the pawn couldn't do any damage. And then bishop d8, and then yeah, just create his own pass pawn on the b6 square, and eventually just traded, and then here after b7, bishop b8, the idea is to go here, and then I believe, I think king c6 and here just wins. Right? Wait, no. Be king c6, king f5. Oh, it's bishop d8. Wait, no. I think it's like bishop here, maybe. No, wait. Hold on. Let me brush up on my technique. So king takes, b7, bishop b8, because you can't queen, because if the bishop could capture, that is. King c6, bishop d6, bishop a7, bishop c7, king b5, king a6, and the bishop has nowhere to go. Even though your bishop is hanging, so is mine, right? Okay, that's the winning technique. I'm an endgame genius, right? So, nice win by Sindarov. Shankland is the most shocking result on paper to me, because I didn't expect him to beat Daniil Dubov. Dubov's a former world rapid champion, I believe, and this was just absolutely fascinating. I mean, the game itself was not really like that great. I mean, it looks like Sam just got comfortable position out of the opening, implemented this idea with king takes. You see this a lot in kind of Banco Gambit, where the king just like recaptures the bishop and then just kind of like transfers to like the g2 square or something. And yeah, I mean, it also gives him the flexibility to just use this h pawn rather than if he had castled. So it's a really good strategy by him. He was able to win, got a nice position, got past d pawn, and just got the job done. That is Sam Shankland. And then in the other game, Shankland only won because like Dubov, like they got a draw and rook in the game, and Dubov had to do something, so he played here, I guess, hoping that Sam hallucinates and like hung the rook or something. But obviously he's not going to do that. All right, so I think we've gone over all the matches, at least from the Sweet 16. So in the Elite Eight, Sindarov and Martinez drew their game, and we'll probably go over those games in the next video, in the Final Four video. There was one decisive result, that being Donchenko, who we just looked over his crazy match over Liam Lei, losing to Norbek Yaguboev, or however you pronounce his name. And yeah, more likely than not, Donchenko's run is over. But if he can win the classical game and then get another crazy tiebreak match, I mean, I'll be here for it. So as far as predictions go, I don't necessarily think my core predictions change all that much. Let's see. I mean, Jospem's gonna lose at some point, right? I don't think Jospem gets past Sindarov, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, if Jospem advances to the I mean, keep in mind, the winner of these matches guarantees to play for a candidate spot. Because even if you go to the to the semis and then lose, the third place match is still for a candidate spot. So if Jospem wins, he's guaranteed at least a chance. Well, I mean, he already has a chance, but you see what I mean. But I think that Sindarov is going to win, and I still think his countryman Noderbek is going to win, and then we'll see an all Uzbek semifinal match. Shanklin versus Esipenko. I mean, I still think Esipenko is going to win. I think that was the matchup that I had last time. I think Esipenko wins at some point, probably in rapid. If Shanklin won, though, that'd be absolutely crazy. Shanklin winning. And then Wei Yi versus Arjun. I mean, again, I guess I won't waver. I'll have Arjun. So Arjun versus Esipenko. Then the all Uzbek. This is just the same as last video, isn't it? Just yeah, Sindarov wins. And then I'll have Arjun win. I mean, I'll have Arjun beat Sindarov, and then for third place match, I'll have Esipenko defeat Yakuboev. All right. Well, that's my video. A little bit unstructured, a little bit everything like that, but just wanted to go over what was going on in the World Cup, highlight some games, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. It'd be very helpful, and yeah, we'll see how these games go, and I will see you all for the next video, probably a Final Four video. So, peace.